The next question. Assalamu alaikum, Dr. Zakir. I am Osama, a medical student from Lahore, Pakistan. My question is regarding the trend of ragging or fooling in educational institutions. The students of higher classes consider their juniors inferior to them, and they insult them, and they push them into mental turmoil during the early days. What is the Islamic ruling on this issue? Jazakallah khairan. The question posed by the brother who is a medical student, that what is the ruling as far as ragging is concerned? And many may be aware that ragging happens in educational institutions, especially those which are professional institutions like medical colleges, like engineering colleges, etc. And it happens more if the institution is outside the city and not based in the city. But it happens in many educational institutions. And during ragging, it is common that the senior students, they rag the junior students, and the reason they say is because we want to know them better, and various reasons there, it may not be logical. But while the senior students rag the junior students, most of the things they do are un-Islamic. Not all, but majority of the time. They may ask them to do things which are un-Islamic. Many a times the seniors, they tell the juniors that you should smoke a cigarette or you should drink alcohol. These are haram in Islam. They may use foul language. They may abuse them. They may even terrorize them. There's a lot of mental torture done on the junior student who is new to the institute, and when he enters, for the first few days or first few weeks, we find that the senior students, they rag the institution, they rag the junior student, and based on the institution, the level of ragging keeps on differing. And many a times it goes to extreme level in which there are cases where many a times the new junior student who has taken admission, he even commits suicide. Many of them go into a mental depression. Many of them leave the college. The act that is done in ragging, many a times they insult the junior student, they abuse the junior student, they use foul language, they terrorize the junior student. All these actions per se are un-Islamic. So in ragging, as far as the Islamic ruling is concerned, that if the action done by the senior student to the junior student is against the teaching of the Quran and the Sahih Hadith, it is haram. If it is not, it's okay. If the senior student wishes the junior student, how are you, etc., it's permitted. But most of the time, what they do is they go beyond limits. In the guise of trying to know the new student, they many a time cross the limits, and many of the senior students are even arrested by the police if they go to extreme level. What should be done is that I would prefer, if there is a formal meeting on the first day of the institution when it opens up, where the junior students can gather together along with the senior students under the supervision of the teachers, and let them introduce themselves, let them enjoy themselves, no problem. As long as it is controlled and nothing haram is done, it is perfectly fine. So I would prefer if such a thing is taken as a step from the university itself, where the teachers themselves get involved so that they control the situation, and let the junior students come and introduce themselves, tell their background, let the senior students question them. If it's in a controlled way, so that they know each other better, it's no problem at all. But unfortunately, this doesn't happen. Many a times, in the name of ragging, they go to extreme levels, and these extreme levels which are not permitted as per the teachings of Quran and Hadith, it is haram. And I hope that no one does it, especially the Muslim senior students. They should see to it that they don't do it, and they should see to it that if possible, they protect the other students, the junior students, from being ragged. And I remember that I myself have studied in a medical college, and by Allah's grace, as far as I'm concerned, the matter wasn't serious, alhamdulillah. But when we became seniors, there were many occasions that we prevented many of the junior students from being ragged by the other senior students. And when we used to rag Bhatnachal, we used to see to it that we did not cross the limit. There were occasions when I remember that if it was a Muslim junior student, I used to ask him, then how many times do you offer salah? And one junior student said, I offer 2 or 3 times. I said, 2 or 3 times? You should offer 5 times from today. Fine, this is okay because I'm asking you to do something which is fard. I'm doing dawah. I may ask him, have you read the Quran? He says, no. Have you read the translation of the Quran? And if he says no, okay, I'm giving you 1 week to finish reading the translation of the Quran. So these sorts of things, alhamdulillah, I feel is permitted. It is okay. It is in fact even mustahab, where you're getting the person closer to Islam and the teachings of Quran. And as far as possible, we should see to it that we get them closer to our deen. And this ragging should actually get the person closer to you and to the deen, not take you away from the deen or away from you. Hope that answers the question.